All right. Hello out there, YouTube. What's going on, everyone? It is Gaming Dad. So if you missed it, I actually did doing a little housekeeping up front. I did do like a 5 or 6 hour Warzone live stream the other day, but aside from a few, double digit kill games, I think I had like one win in there as well. I just honestly just wasn't having a lot of fun playing the game, and I think that really came through while I was playing. So I ended up deleting that whole stream just because I don't want that to be on my channel permanently. If people are interested in watching me for Warzone and that's what they see first, I don't think they would enjoy that, and I don't think it would be enticing to subscribe. And so ultimately, I decided to take it down and delete it. And so, in case you were, you know, a subscriber who also likes to watch my Warzone content, that would explain why 6 hours of Warzone content just poof disappeared off my channel. But now that we're through with that, we are here on MLB The Show 25 White Sox Rebuild. We just got done with our 2029 offseason / like early 2030 offseason, and we should be dominating. We made some huge moves in said offseason. Excuse me. Just had breakfast, had a little burp in there. I don't know why I said burp. That's kind of weird, but that's the joy of watching me live. Anyway, we had a huge offseason where we made huge moves, and you can see them right here on top. We landed the top 2 free agents in this free agency class, 2 very high potential, very high overall, very young men in their prime. Starting pitcher Paul Skeens and shortstop Ellie De La Cruz, who is regressing for some reason. Obviously, he's not playing great right now. 115 average. I mean, when your OPS starts with a 2, that's not good. Obviously, this is a far cry from where he's been, and I don't think that has anything to do with playing in Chicago because our stadium is pretty hitter friendly. So I'm sure he'll get it together. But those were the 2 big names. Paul Skeens landed himself monster money. 8 years, $50 million. We are all in on Paul Skeens until he is a old ass man. Ellie De La Cruz got 2, 4, 6, 8, got 10 years, $32 million. So we are all in on these guys. We are all in on this franchise. We missed the playoffs after winning the World Series, and we came back and said, like, we're not just we're gonna go all in. We have won a World Series, and so there were some familiar faces who ended up leaving us, but we replaced them. We also added in the bullpen Chris Bubich, who's a phenomenal lefty, has been absolutely outstanding. Basically, the last 8 years, sub-3 ERA. Dustin May, we got for the bullpen, which is kind of curious. No one seemed to wanted him. He just happened to be playing for an organization that is amassed with massive amounts of talent. The last time he played in 29, though, 76 and a third with a 2.7 ERA. So we expect him to be good. We expect Chris Bubich to be good. Kate Smith has won back-to-back Reliever of the Year awards, or not back-to-back, sorry, 2027, 2029. Chris Bubich has won this award in 2028 and 2029. So we have 2 multi-year Reliever of the Years along with Dustin May. We picked up Bryce Jarvis in the Rule 5 draft, who looks absolutely filthy. Then we have not a rookie, but rookie year last year, Marcelo Mesa, who in his rookie campaign posted a 3 ERA. We bring back old man Colin Pache, who is slowly regressing but still wonderful. Ian Gibbett. Outside of that, I'll run through the names. Kyle Teal and Henry Davis will be our catchers. Kyle Teal also got a big contract, 7 years, $12 million. He was World Series MVP and then his first All-Star appearance last year. it doesn't get much better than that. He has some versatility and the ability to play the outfield, and he just keeps getting better every year. So we are, again, all in on him. Tristan Casas is still on the team after picking up in free agency of the 2028 year. Second baseman, Jazz Chisholm. Of course, Villar, Brian Ramos at third. We moved Villar's official position from first to third and made first his secondary position. He's off to a great start this year. 3 home runs, including a 2 or 3 home run opening day where we won. I'll show you guys that game. Colson Montgomery, Ellie De La Cruz. We bring back Lo Perfido and Justin Henry Malloy, who we traded for at the trade deadline last year. Roman Anthony, the top prospect in MLB, is going to be starting in AAA. Then we have Alec Thomas and Estuary Ruiz playing center field, and Ricky Ollie, as our DH/backup outfielder. So that's the team. We made some big moves. As you can see, our team we rank 4th in the league. Our only detriment is defense, which is maybe just because of our outfield, because our infield defense is pretty amazing. So I'm assuming there's just some, outfield pieces that are a little weaker, but I'm not worried about that at all. I think we're in a great place to do some damage. And with that, I think it's time to get into some games. And why don't we do a series here with Detroit and see if we can get the electric Ellie De La Cruz on the right path, as he is struggling early on in the year. So we're going to do the first 3 games here in the series versus Detroit. We're going to player lock Ellie, and we are going to see what we can do with this man. Like I said, as the title suggests, we should be dominating, but so far we're off to a slow start. Obviously, the MLB season is very, very long. It can be very forgiving if you are in a slump, as long as you play well. But having paid out 2 monumentally massive contracts, we expect these guys to come in and perform. I did just pour myself some coffee, so I may be slurping on that while we lock in with Ellie. Braxton Garrett on the mound, having a good start to his season. Has played 1 game, went 7 deep. Looks like probably allowed like 1 run. Not bad. All right. So Braxton Garrett, we got a sinker, a slider, a 4-seamer, and a changeup to fight, a cutter, and bases loaded for Ellie. Get a piece of the sinker away, but it is caught. Just a little bit behind that one. Ellie not the best versus lefties, but Estuary Ruiz hits a solo home run here in the 3rd. And that thing is gone. Let's get Ellie on the right track. Let's get it going. How about with a no-doubter out to left? Absolutely pummeled. Would have loved to have done that with the bases loaded in our last opportunity. But 4:59, all aboard. Next stop, Pound Town. Ellie De La Cruz is your conductor today. Almost 460 feet. And an absolute no-doubter to give the White Sox a 3-0 lead. I mean, that is just a blast. Still no defensive moments. Back up here with Yilbert Diaz. Fastball, slider, changeup, 2-seamer. Ellie takes a fastball up and in on the black. And that might be gone. That one high and deep out to right center field at the track at the wall. Gone. It's a 2-home back. I cut out. It's a 2-home run day for Ellie De La Cruz. And he is cruising home after a back-to-back round the trip around the base paths. Ellie De La Cruz. That's what we paid money for. And Detroit fans are getting to see the Chicago money in full effect. Versus a lefty, one versus a righty, and again, no defensive moments yet. As we are dominating our division rival Detroit Tigers 7-0 here in the 7th. Good front door slider.
0-2.
Ooh, good slider. I don't really even know how Ellie got a piece of that one. Ellie De La Cruz, obviously a huge fan of my work in high school football, as that was my football number in high school.
That's a ball.
Number 44. I appreciate that Ellie's representing me.
Ball.
As he takes back-to-back
2 balls, 2 strikes.
pitches outside the zone. The count is 2-2. Really close take on the outside part of the plate. And that fastball pulled foul. Payoff pitch again. Fouled away. Just a little bit early on the fastball outside. Another slider off the plate, but Ellie gets a piece of it. Should have been ball 4 twice. And then we take strike 3. Not the best plate vision from Ellie, but also a really well executed fastball. So his first opportunity, or his first time going down. As I just realized, it said he was 2 for 2, so that sinker that we hit deep but foul that was caught, that must have ended up being a sacrifice fly and not counted towards his line. We've really blown this game open, though. It's 11-3 here in the 8th. We still have yet to have a defensive moment with Ellie, but
2 balls, no strikes.
I mean, having a 2 for 3 day with 2 home runs, good way to get back on track. Good timing there. But was just a pop-up to center. I feel like that's probably going to be it. Yeah. May or not be involved with the potential final out. It's not a close game. I don't think we need to see Ellie in his defensive moment there, if he would even get one. But a great day for Ellie. The goal was to get him back on track, and I think we did that in a big way. 2 home runs, a sacrifice fly. But it's Estuary Ruiz who wins player of the game, 4 for 5 with 2 home runs. Keep in mind, his power ratings are very low, and he's a guy who maybe hits 10 to 15 home runs a year. He's at 4 through the first week and a half, as he had an opening day with 2 home runs. Have we compiled like the next murderer's row? Braxton Garrett only managed to go 3 1/3 before getting pulled. And for those of you who missed the last episode, look at this opening day against the Angels, where we put up 21 runs. And look at the home runs. 2 home run day for Estuary Ruiz, 2 home run day for Rick Oliver, Tristan Casas, Jazz. Villar had 3. Kyle Teal and Loperfido with home runs as well. 5 RBI day for Ruiz, 5 RBI day for Villar, 4 for Oliver. Tristan, Casas, Jazz Chisholm, Kyle Teal with 3, Loberfito with 2. It was an insane day at the plate. It just, every time we made contact, it felt like we were hitting a home run. We ended up losing that series and then losing the series to Minnesota, but a good start here in Detroit. And I think all things considered, I would say we got Ellie back on track. So we will continue to sim now as we lose 2-3 in game 2. And we have scouting to take care of. So I was doing just like an all simulation Tampa Bay Rays franchise, and I had the best draft I've ever had. I had all B potential draft picks. So hopefully we get that same amount of luck here. We just need to look at our contracts, make sure we still have everyone we need. So we have our position player, coach or scout, discovery scout, and pitching scout. I'd like to find a better pitching scout if we can. But 98 efficiency is really nice, even if 86 for pitchers is a little low. But I don't see a single scout that's like 90 plus for pitchers and for efficiency. So this might just be the best that we have. Efficiency is absolutely crucial. I mean, here's a 90-90, but is it worth giving up -8 to efficiency to only +4 for pitching? Probably not. So I guess we're just going to continue with the scouts that we have. And we also need to identify what we're going to be looking for. I mean, essentially, we just need to look for where we need depth. Even though we do have a ton of depth at the starting pitcher position, some top tier depth would be nice. Relievers were actually pretty good. Having B potential relievers is actually very good. Closing pitchers, I want to continue to add depth here because these guys can come in and act as relievers at the major league level. And Mason Adams, at 30 years of age, is not going to be developing much more. I think catcher, we're good because we have Kyle Teal for a long-term deal, and then backup catcher is fine. We don't have a ton of youth, but Kyle Teal, 28, he still has many years left, but we may look there. First baseman for sure, second base, third base. Yeah, so actually catcher, first, second, third is probably where we need to look. So with that, let's get our Discovery Scout out there. We're going to look for infielders. We'll start in the West. Very rarely do we find people there, but we will start. Let's see. In our pitching scout. We really could use some high-end starting pitching depth. Let's take a look. So we pick at 17, which is not bad. Donovan Lamb looks incredible. No generational prospect this year, but a lot of 20-plus-year-olds. And not a lot of starting pitchers, which is interesting. A lot of position players up here. Okay. This is very interesting. Okay. All right. Well, we can go all over the board. It doesn't really matter. Let's scout. I think I saw it was the Central region, a lot of starting pitchers. And then looks like we'll have plenty of position players to look for. The question is, will any of these guys fall? Like, we know Albert Hafey here is going to likely be a very high potential player. So even though I don't necessarily advise this all the time, sometimes it can work if you have a number of players that are fairly high ranked. We're actually going to start in the catcher. We're going to do catcher. Yeah, we'll do Central, East, and because there's just so many that are projected to go in the top 100 between those three, we'll just do like 1 week at each. And then the last few weeks, we'll really hone in on who we want to be our like number one guy. And so we will put, let's see, we will put starting pitcher just because we're scouting it. We'll put catcher. And then we also need first, second, third. Yes, we'll just do that. Okay. Lock that in. And who do we want to play in our first full game? Could do our division rival, Cleveland Guardians. Got a couple Boston series, Minnesota. My favorite team, the A's, who are 6-3. Why don't we do an away game? We've had 2 home games so far. So we've already obviously pitched with Paul Skeens. Bryce Wilson is having an absolutely terrible time. Has only pitched once, it looks like, and only gone 3 innings. So why don't we play his first game with Bryce Wilson? He is like our grizzled veteran of the rotation. And if anything, that's the only thing that has been really just straight up bad. Hagen Smith with a 10 ERA, Dustin May with a 10 ERA, both those guys, I believe, working out of the pen. Bryce Wilson with a 15 ERA. So, pitching not great. But Ellie up to a 162 average. Esteury Ruiz hitting 324 in that leadoff spot is like exactly what we needed. Because that dude can steal some bags. He's got great speed and he's great stealing ability. Still like, I don't even know, 50 plus bases 1 year with the A's. We'll be facing off against Julian Aguiar, who's had 1 start this year, 5 innings, gave up 1 run, it looks like. Okay. 2-seamer, changeup, slider, curveball, sinker. Okay. Ruiz taking the first pitch for strike 1. Really good curveball there. Good timing, but obviously that pitch way under the zone. And just gets a piece. stay alive. Down 0-2. We're going to have to battle here.
Ball.
Good job
2.
sitting on that slider. 79 miles an hour. There's that two-seamer. I think the first fastball we've seen of the at-bat. Painted in on the hands and fouled away. There's that changeup. Swung over the top.
That's an out.
And a strikeout for Aguilar. I don't think that's an L. I don't think it's Aguilar. All right, so next up, Rick Oliver. He's here to hit singles, get on base.
Yep. 0-2.
Two well-located fastballs out in front of that second one, though. And a slider in on the hands. Back-to-back Ks. Just a bit early and can't make any contact. Not really a place that you want to leave a slider, but it works. And this low velo, we just got to sit back a little bit. Ellie with a warning shot. Certainly would have been a home run if we just could have straightened it out a little bit more. Down 0-2.
Ball.
There's that curveball. Ellie thought about it. And that one roped back up the middle. So we have a 2-out single from Ellie. Obviously, he can easily steal bases as well. Casas, not so much. It's his bat, and that's about it. I mean, that's just an exceptionally well-located curveball. Very well-located pitches. Julian really in command today.
Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner.
There goes Ellie, and we got a hit and run as that one is out in the gap for Casas. Ellie is going to walk home, and Casas is going to slide in for a double. Good piece of hitting with Ellie on the move, and Ellie easily goes first to home with that hit and run. Sinker just left up. Now here's another guy maybe we need a player lock with
That's foul.
in Jazz Chisholm, who was also slumping at the beginning of the year, only hitting 143.
No ball.
Good timing, good timing. Just a better pitch. And there's that curveball, but Jazz has great speed. Almost legged it out. Not our best at bat so far. We are really succumbing to the curveball and the changeup.
Ball. 1 ball, no strikes.
So Bryce Wilson, he was really like kind of the cornerstone of this rebuild, as weird as that may be to say. He really impressed early on as he punches out Michael Garcia. Has moved from the Royals over to Cleveland. But he was like the one true bright spot. Early on in our rebuild, we identified him as a piece that we really wanted to keep. Gave him a pretty big deal to start the year. I think it was 5-6 years, $12 million.
He's out.
And he's been a focal point of our rotation ever since then.
Be right.
Has started opening day
No ball.
multiple times,
Strike. Ball one.
but is having a tough start so far this season.
Two.
And a chance to put away the Guardians with a runner on third.
Ball.
Spencer Torkelson
2-2.
has moved inside the division,
Full count.
gone from Detroit here to Cleveland. Full count.
And 3.
And he swings right through the cutter. Very well located. Low and away. Wilson leaves a man stranded. And the White Sox retain their lead. All right, Villar. Ooh, that average is not good. Only hitting 185, but that OPS, though. OPS is on-base percentage plus your slugging. So that means he is hitting the ball really hard, a lot. Probably not getting on base a whole lot, but when he's making contact, he's hitting the ball really far. Had a 3 home run day, opening day. Would love for him to continue that. Oh, really good diving effort. Villar not exceptionally fast, but is still able to get the first. They're going to rule out a base hit. Sinker away. 102 off the bat. There's that power.
That's foul. That's a ball.
Check swing. Obviously didn't go around. Oh, maybe he didn't. I thought he did. We just really need to lay off these
Ball
change-ups and these curveballs. They're absolutely been brutalizing the line.
Ball 3. 3-1.
Kyle Teal working a nice at-bat here, though. 3-1, expecting a challenge pitch. Sinker. Also need to get used to this velocity. Highest we've seen is like 92. Change up, hung up a little bit, but it's just so hard to sit back for so long.
Ball 4.
And there's a nice... Sorry, my controller, or my headset, I guess, keeps coming unplugged. And so it defaults to this microphone instead of this microphone. And so I have to keep changing it. It's annoying. Anyway, so 2 on and no out for
1-1.
Alec Thomas. And he's going to send this one fairly deep out into center. Villar, again, not great speed, and that would not hit particularly deep. So we will not run. It's a good thing. That would have been an out for sure. And so now we have a new addition, his first full year here with the White Sox, Joey Loperfido.
No.
So far with an OPS over 1,000,
Ball 2.
which would be MVP numbers if he could continue that. It seems unlikely that he would. But that is going to load the bases. Just a nice, solid opposite base hit out into left. And it's going to be Estuary Ruiz up next. The man with 99 clutch rating. And bases juiced. He's already hit more home runs this year than I think we would expect him to all year.
1-0.
Has had 2 multi-home run games already. Something I'm not sure that he's done
1 ball, 1 strike.
in his entire career, let alone twice in a few weeks. But a big position here to blow this game open. But that one is going to be caught in foul territory, I think. No. Leaping attempt, but unable to make the grab. And we are still alive. But no more. There's that changeup. It's just executed so well. You think it's a low fastball, maybe a sinker, or you think maybe it's going to hang up. 7 inches of break. That's not like extreme by MLB standards, but in the game, it's quite a bit. So it'll be up to Rick Oliver. There it is again. It just looks like it's going to be right down the middle of the plate and then just falls off.
1-1.
We're going to have to be really cognizant of that.
2-1.
Those, though, easily laid off as they are inches above the zone. I'm okay with taking that one. Had a strike to give, and there's not much to do with the sinker down and in.
Full count.
There's a curveball. That one looked pretty close, but fell in the dirt. Full count. There's a 2-seamer, and that's going to be a ground out. So we leave the bases loaded. Not, I would say, our best at-bats, but I mean, we still obviously hit well enough to get the bases loaded, but just really frustrating there.
1-2.
That one skied out to left to Loperfido, who makes the catch.
Hook.
They're right now just pounding this cutter low and away.
Down. Ball.
Bryce Wilson so far looking really good. I mean, obviously it's very early on in the season, but his stats so far not very good. I expect he just got shelled one game, which happens to every pitcher. And that is what I'm super excited about. Between Jazz at second and Ellie at shortstop, with their speed, their range, their athleticism, you got to think there's like,
Yeah.
it's going to help our pitching a lot.
Strike.
Not to mention Villar at third with exceptional fielding ability. Our infield defense is going to be very hard to get a ball through. Back up with Ellie. We already player locked him once
D-Rod.
and had ourselves a multi-home run day. He has already scored in this game.
Ball 1.
after a single and then a double from Tristan Casas that brought him home. This one hit fairly well out to left, but caught. That's honestly, like, that's okay, right? If you have a guy that's struggling, you just want to see him making solid contact and putting the ball in play, elevating a little bit, showing some signs of life and power. So I'll take that. There we go. So Casas off to a good start. 2 for 2. Got a double and a single. It's almost impossible for Tristan Casas to hit a triple, so he will likely never hit for the cycle. But he is just a triple and a home run away. There's that changeup out in front of it. And Aguilar already really low on energy, I just noticed.
1-1.
Although this is likely to be a double play, and it is. I gotta say, Aguilar, I swear it's not an L. It looks like Aguiar. Anyway,
0-2.
he's been a pretty good pitcher. He's been very hard to deal with. The changeup has just been
Ball.
immaculate. It's fooled us a lot. And even though we have had some relative success, we only have one run to show for it. Slade, who we actually traded away to Cleveland. At the time, he was one of our highest rated prospects and one of the top
Ball. No strike.
highest rated prospects in all of baseball.
Ball 2.
Now getting some starting time here in Cleveland. If I remember, I'll have to look at him next time he has his next at-bat and see how his numbers are doing. That's a double play. Casas catches the liner and immediately with the wherewithal to step on the bag for the inning double play. All right, we'll take that. Up here with Villar, Aguilar still on the bump. I know I say still, even though it's only 1-0 in the fourth, but his energy is waning, already in the yellow. So hopefully he starts leaving some of these vicious changeups, starts leaving them up, because they have bamboozled our lineup so far today. Just like that one.
No ball. 2 strikes.
Somehow we've got to figure out how to not swing at that.
1-2.
Fortunately for us, it appears to be the only pitch that he can control. Everything else is usually wildly out of the zone or left up. That's going to be another double play on the curveball. I mean, that thing is left up. That's a pitch to hit. Just can't elevate it. Speaking of pitches to hit, how about a fastball down the middle for Alek Thomas? And that one is gone. 365 solo shot for Alek Thomas. Ladies and gentlemen, pack your bags. Next stop, Pound Town. Your conductor today is Alek Thomas, his third home run of the year. And that one pretty much a no-doubter. About 3 rows deep into right field. Ooh, another one. A two-seamer right down the pipe. Loperfido, good timing, but fouled back.
Ball.
Also, the two-seamer and the changeup, there's only a few miles an hour difference between the two. So it's not hard to imagine seeing two-seamer, seeing changeup in the same spot. Oh my goodness. What a defensive play. I can't believe we're not going to get a replay of that. Instead, we'll see the Alek Thomas home run. But that was an exceptional defensive play, showing tons of range on the run, catch over the shoulder. Speaking of making amazing catches, I have to give a shout out to a player that I am absolutely falling in love with in real life. For my Oakland, well, formerly Oakland Athletics, shed a tear, pour one out for the boys. Denzel Clark.
Ball 1.
Now the whole rap on him
1 ball. 2 strikes.
playing in the minors showed great defensive capabilities, but the bat didn't look like he was major league ready. Obviously, the A's hit a really big slump. We've had some injuries, and so we decided to bring him up. And he is making catch of the year candidate catches every single week. If you pay attention on social media or watch SportsCenter, I'm sure you saw his home run robbery versus the Angels, where he scaled the wall and almost fell over the wall, but managed to both hang on to the baseball
Ball, no.
and bring himself back over the top of the wall. And this week made an absolutely diabolically good catch. Flying, showing range, and then extending and diving. So just got to highlight that here. He's already looking like he could be a Gold Glove candidate in his rookie year through only being at the big leagues for a month, maybe. Speaking of defense, though, Alek Thomas showing some good range. Would have liked a better throw. Maybe would have had an opportunity for the put out there, but it is a double, but could have been worse if it would have been played any worse. Torkelson goes down. His struggles continue this year. His average drops to 132, and that's the 4th strikeout for Bryce Wilson.
Ball, no. Ball 2.
We're seeing Keenan for MVP signs. He is hitting over 300 so far. And that one is very high and deep. And off the wall. Maybe that's why. That's a triple. And a run scored for Cleveland. Brock Keenan. That big, beautiful beard. Alek Thomas just can't come down with that one. And we're back to a one-run game.
Ball. 1-2.
I'm hearing let's go defense when we're in Cleveland. So we must have a lot of Chicago fans here out chanting the Guardians fans. But Brock Keegan gets on one off the wall and gets himself a triple. All right. New pitcher in Zach Thompson. Played in 5 games, 6 and a third inning. Not having a great time. Strikeout rate is good. Another low velocity guy with a slider, a forkball, and a curveball. Ruiz takes a rip at a high fastball, elevates it. But I know we've spoken on it before. Despite multiple multi-home run games, is unable to put a charge into that one. And it's just a lazy fly ball. Oliver gets a slider right down the middle on the first pitch. He takes a hack. And that is a fly out to center. So 2 pitches and 2 outs so far for Zach Thompson.
1-0.
To be fair, 2 very hittable pitches.
Ball 2.
But so far, pitching around Ellie,
Count.
trying to get that average above the Mendoza line.
3-0.
Now, we know he doesn't hit lefties particularly well, so it's possible so far maybe he has just seen an inordinate amount of left-handed pitchers, and he struggled.
3 balls, 1 strike.
The lefty we faced early on, and then proceeded to blast one against the right-handed reliever in this in the following inning.
Ball. 1 ball, no strikes.
But so far, our opponent on the mound is struggling to find the zone. Probably not the best swing. We didn't really need that, but we'll take it.
Hey.
And this is really our only problem right now, is our lineup absolutely dominates right-handed pitching. There's no doubt about it. If you're a right-handed pitcher, no matter how good you are good pitch on the black. But versus lefties, we are a little less proficient. As Bo Naylor is going to get a single to lead off here. Oh, here's Jim Slade. Okay. So we traded away Jim Slade 2 years ago. He's now up to a 75 overall. And this is his rookie year. So far hitting 125. Not really making much of an impact. Negative WAR player. So far, this is what got us Kate Smith.
2. No balls, 2 strikes.
Who has been phenomenal for us. And so far, looks like we won the trade. Obviously, though, Jim Slade, only 23, still very early in his young career. And Bryce Wilson getting a little tired out there. Let's get Jarvis up. He's got a great clutch rating. We need a lefty as well. Let's get Bubich up. Let's see if Ruiz can get a good throw to third here. He's not going to run. So we got 2 outs, 1 on to Michael Garcia. And I think he might have an RBI. Alec Thomas on the run and shows off excellent range. This is why I was surprised. Like when you look at the team rankings overall in the MLB, we have 20-somethingth ranked defense according to our player ratings. But I don't really see any glaring holes in the defense. So back up here with Zach Thompson,
1-0.
where we left 2 stranded in the last inning against him. With Jazz going down pretty much on the exact same pitch, fastball painted low on the black. Good slider there, and Villar is going to be down in the count. Just 2 really well located pitches.
Ball.
There's that fork ball. I don't think that's a pitch you actually see too much in the MLB these days.
Ball 3.
Really nice take there. That pitch really close. Home fans don't like it. But we've seen some strikes called on the black, so gotta hang in there. That is just a really, really located fastball. And we are too far out in front. Only 90. But just located better.
0-1.
And we are just really struggling to time up some of these pitches. That fastball only at 89 miles an hour. So we are definitely getting beat with placement more than we are with velocity. As we see Alec Thomas, who had a home run in his last at-bat. This one going opposite field. That's fly out. Okay. Thompson gets through 3 more. Bryce Wilson coming in the 6th with a 1-run lead. We're going to have him on a short leash as he is very tired. And he gets hit hard, but making the catch on the warning track is Alec Thomas. He's made a couple great defensive plays already. And this is where I think it's really going to help our pitching staff. Where we can be really aggressive in the zone. I don't know why, I guess, yeah. Not sure why that was Ellie coming in there. There we go. That's a great double play. That, you cannot do it, I think, unless you have Ellie and Jazz. Maybe a few other exceptional players. But Ellie with the range, Jazz with the cannon. And I think that will be the day for Bryce Wilson. He goes 6 strong. Looking ahead, we got Brock Keenan, we got Jawinski Noel, and Bo Naylor. Looks like righty is going to be the way to go. So we're going to get to see Bryce Jarvis for the first time. A Rule 5 draft pick. And once again, another just really low velo guy. Starting to see what the Guardians are kind of building here, their pitching staff. Not really going with the flamethrowers. Just going with guys who can locate well and not get hit hard. Fair enough if it works.
Ball. Two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's a ball.
Back-to-back sliders.
2 balls.
Got Ruiz in a 2-2 count. We have seen 2 strikes and 2 balls.
Full count.
And to me, I think that's a measure of a good bat, right? And that one is not going to get through. Jump throw. What a defensive effort there. Hit really hard, showing great range. Off his back foot. Ruiz with tons of speed. That's not an easy throw to make.
High. No balls. One
Come on, Ollie. 0 for 3 today. Little sluggish out of the gate. Which I think was the same story last year. Came on strong at the end of the year, but
ball.
his specialty is getting on base versus righties.
Ball 2.
And so far, he has yet to do that.
Full count.
Okay. 2 really easy pitches to lay off of. Full count. And then Rankin. Just painting low and inside.
That's a ball.
Good take there.
Your base.
Ollie's going to get on with the walk. Ellie De La Cruz. We know what he can do versus righties. Oh, it's a 89 left up. Very early, though. Sometimes so hard to time up these very low velo pitches. That one left up as well, but just can't get enough behind it. Only 94 off the bat. And is caught at the warning track. And we're going to take a look at Bryce Jarvis. Doing good so far. 4 1/3. 23% strikeout rate.
No. One ball. No strike.
Has great velo.
Hard one.
Good clutch rating. Good hit per 9.
2.
And he was just sitting there in the Rule 5 draft, so we decided to take him. Gets ahead here of Jarvis. Or sorry, Keenan. Who hit a triple in his last at-bat. He's staying alive. He's swinging at everything. And we just cannot get a swing and miss. That is a part of Jarvis's game that he doesn't necessarily excel at, is getting that swing and miss stuff.
No. Outside.
More of a pitch to contact kind of guy. Keenan is proving that as he is going to face his 10th pitch of the at-bat. We're throwing the kitchen sink at him. And he just will not go down. We'll try a new pitch. We'll try the cutter. That one fouled away. 12 pitches in the at-bat. Maybe if we just throw something wildly out of zone, he'll take a rip at it. There we go. 98 up and out. We finally get Keenan on the 13th or 14th pitch of the at-bat. And that's okay with me. Honestly. Why do I care when we have relievers that are only meant to go 1 or 2 innings? If they have a 13 pitch at bat but get the out, what do I care? I care if you can get the out. Tristan Casas, you're so slow. And that one falls out of his glove.
That's out.
Would love to have a better athlete,
Full count.
but also love having a guy that can hit 30 plus home runs. And I think we're just cranking fastballs to Jawinski Noel. Just saying, please give me a fly ball or something. We're not even trying to hide it. Try to put a ball in play. I double dog dare you. Everything fouled off. Anything but a walk. There we go.
He's out.
Took a while, but we got there. But that's what happens when you have
Ball one.
good
Out.
pitches and like a 95 whatever hit per nine. There's some swing and miss on the cutter.
1-2.
Can we get another one? No. Maybe a little too much to ask. There we go. Strikeout on the changeup. Very well located. Low and away. Not a particularly efficient inning from Jarvis, but he got through it. Now we're going to face Antoine Zakafous. What a name. Let's go to our bullpen. That was a very long inning. Looks like going lefty is the play, so of course it will be Chris Bubich. Our first chance to take a look at him, as he has only played in one inning so far. And we'll get Cade Smith up as well, as it still is. Even though we've gotten tons of hits, we've had lots of base runners, we do not have a lot of runs, and it is only a one-run lead. Tristan Casas continues his good day. Goes 3 for 3 now. Maybe that's 4 for 4. And it's pretty obvious what Cleveland's doing here. Just throwing lefties at us. We know we're not great versus lefties, but all we have to do is just enough.
Ball.
Because I wouldn't say we're bad against lefties. We're not bad. We're just not great. Count is 2-2 to Jazz. And that one is going to be a double play. That is our third one of the game. We just cannot seem to elevate the ball when it matters. Good chiming. Sweeping curve left up. And Villar is going to rifle this one out to left, but it's caught. I mean, I don't really know what to do. We're swinging at good pitches. We're just not making great contact. And it's going to be Chris Bubich versus the former White Sox, Jim Slade, who's actually going to get a hit here. Decent throw in from Alec Thomas, but he just could not get to it in time. And a lead-off double for Jim Slade.
Hurry. 0-1.
Now we get the lefty-lefty matchup. And that one just falling into no man's land. We have played so well all day. It would be really, really sad to go down like this. Martinez with only 59 clutch. Not a ton of power. We really need a strikeout here.
Ball.
Or like an infield, not even an infield ground out, like an infield pop-up.
No.
I mean, I also really can't afford calls like that.
No, that's the ball.
It also doesn't kill us to get a walk here. As crazy as that is. They're sending the runner home. We got him. No, we didn't. What? Make the play, Kyle Teal. Oh, my God. 2-runner score. Are they going to send the runner here? No. I'm not intentionally walking anyone. Especially not a guy that's 0 for 3 today and is hitting 125 on the year.
Dead ball.
You've got to be kidding me.
Yep.
I can feel the life leaving my body with this inning.
Ball. Hard. 3.
Just unbelievably unlucky. With just bloop singles. Arguably, like, I think Kyle Teal defensively,
No ball. 2 strikes.
he should have made that play at home plate. I'm sorry. He should have been able to apply that tag. Oh, God damn it! What the fuck? Good jump by Ellie, and then the ball just checks up. And I don't even know. I really don't even know what to say about that one. Ball just I don't even know how to explain it.
Ball 1.
It's like it just got magically faster after the bounce or something. I don't know.
He's out.
What a disastrous inning for Chris Bubich. Just bloop hits, bad defensive plays, and we find ourselves down 3.
Ball. 1 ball. No strike.
Versus Colby Allard. Another lefty. And it's another ground ball.
Out.
What a disastrous inning.
He ride.
We might actually pitch hit Thomas here. I think we will. Justin Henry Malloy absolutely rakes versus lefties.
That's a ball. Ball.
And we got one more out to get at least 3 more runs. Fastball middle of the plate, left up a little bit. Fly out.
Ahoy. Ahoy.
Had to swing to protect there, but too late. And just a really well-located pitch. Looked like a slider away or something. It was not. So Cleveland's pitching, I guess, wins the day. We had 9 hits and only 2 runs. Cleveland scored 4 in the 8th off of... I mean, it feels honestly just like luck. I know it's not luck. Got to get the bat to the ball, but Chris Bubich absolutely imploded. Our defense absolutely imploded. We couldn't get good throws and tags when we needed it. We couldn't make defensive plays. And we lose a shocking one. One I feel like 100% we should have won. Unbelievable. And we continue to be bad. We do win the next 2, so thank goodness for that. Got a close game here. Again, down by 1. Facing off against Emmanuel Clase. I don't know if we want Malloy in versus the righty. We got a man on. And I think we're actually going to put Brian Ramos in. The DH spot. He's got good clutch rating. And I feel like if it's under 95 miles an hour, we can't hit it. We saw that with every pitcher versus the Guardians. None of them could throw a fastball above 95, and we could not make contact with anything.
1 and 2.
Sounds weird, but I think I would rather see a fastball at 100 than an 85 mile an hour changeup. Ramos battling here, 1 and 2 versus Emmanuel Clase. Goes down on the slider. Just early, so could have made contact. Would almost expect to make contact there. 99 clutch from Ruiz with good timing. Still can't touch Clase. And that one caught on the line. We lose another one. Coming into this season, felt like we had like the infinity gauntlet. Ruiz hits another home run. Casas with a home run. Villar with a homer. Ellie with a triple. And we just cannot win. Another day for scouting. All right, so we did catchers, Central Region. Now we'll go East and then International. And then if there's anyone that kind of really jumps out after being like 20% scouted, we'll scout them fully or close to. And then we discovered second baseman Ruben Trevino. The potential sucks, but the contact is great. The dude can hit the ball. Maybe if he falls past 100, he would be someone that we would look to grab. But we will lock that in again. And another big moment, Chris Bubich on the mound, bases loaded, tie ball game with only 1 out. I think it was Rafael Devers on the plate. We are first in the league in home runs. We have 32. So we're hitting the ball with power. Lefty, this really works well to our advantage. We're just going to keep chucking sliders and look for a ground ball or a strikeout. Why is Malloy playing center field? That's going to score a run. What is the game doing with my defense? No wonder we're losing so many games. Why is Ramos at first? Why does Ruiz have the day off? Malloy is our worst defensive center fielder. He can't even play center field. It is not in his position. This is why we are losing games, because the computer is an idiot. Ruiz will come in. Stuff like this just absolutely flabbergasts me. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, if a guy needs the day off, great, but don't put someone in that doesn't play the position. Henry Davis, I guess, can at least play right field, but I also don't want him in. Like, okay, if you need a day off, okay, but like, holy hell, game. Putting someone who is not a center fielder in at center field is diabolically stupid. Okay. Wyatt Langford, what's your clutch rating? 85. Oh my God, that was such a close play. Thank God we made it. I want to finish playing. I'm so mad at this team right now. We should not be losing hardly any games, let alone not even be 500. Of course, it's also infuriating to see the way the CPU is substituting in this game. And also leads me to understand perhaps why we've been so bad. If you put our worst defensive player or worst defensive outfielder who doesn't even have center field as his primary position and you put him in the most, like, where you need the most defense, I can't take it. You know what I will take? A Kyle Teal blast off Emmanuel Clase. 4:36, the game is tied. Cheers. World Series MVP, 2029 All-Star. And he's off to a great start this year. 4th home run of the year, ties us up in the bottom of the 9th. We lead the league in home runs, but we are sub 500. Make it make sense.
That's a ball. I got a ball, 1 strike.
We may need to look at the roster after this game and maybe move some people around and make sure that there's a definitive backup for each position so the computer won't do something stupid again.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Because that really worries me. Like, if the CPU can't make a player change positions, it just puts someone who doesn't play the position in. That's, like, no wonder you're going to lose games. Especially when it's, like, at center field, which is one of the most important defensive positions. Ruiz goes down on the slider. Alec Thomas is going to ground out. And if it goes to extras, we will go back to simulating. I just wanted to see if we could get a walk-off here. Ollie having a good day, 2 for 4. Clase back-to-back days pitching. Somehow is not gassed. Gets a piece there, but that's a fly out. Kyle Teal, though, tied it up. Can we just... I don't want to quick manage. I just want to simulate and exit. There we go.
Ball 4, thanks to me.
There we go. We win. Thank goodness. Ugh. All right, so let's take a look at the roster. Just make sure that we have backups for every position. We'll send the rest of the month, play any moments they have, and then that'll probably be it for today. Just a short stream for today. All right. So catcher, we have a clear backup. Tristan Casas at first. We have a clear backup with Brian Ramos, who can play first and second. I guess we don't have... Yep, we have Colson Montgomery, who can play short and third. And then Loperfido can play... Look, they had a guy who can only play left field and third base and at center field with 37 speed. Meanwhile, we have... I mean, it's just inexcusable. We have Alec Thomas and Esteury Ruiz. Rick Oliver can play. He can play the entire outfield. I can't move any one position. These are the guys that want playing. I just need the CPU to not do really, really dumb shit. All right, we're 6-9. We are not winning mini series. In fact, we've only won 1 so far. Not ideal. We'll say, like I said, we'll simulate the rest of the month. We'll do our scouting, and we'll play any moments that we have. And then that'll be it for today. But it's been a good one. We've hit plenty of home runs. We've had some really close, exciting games. We lose the series versus the Athletics, which unfortunately in this game is not good. Split the series so far versus Boston. How do we lose? We're just all over the map. We lose 11-1, or we win 11-1. We lose 2-10. We just, I don't know, we got to be more consistent. Now we'll go international catcher. No new infielders discovered, so we will go to the central region. Move starting pitchers to the east. And we lose another series. We just cannot win a series to save our lives. What is going on? Kyle Teal is absolutely raking, and Jazz is ice cold, so we'll flip those two. Move Jazz down. Look at... Jesus Christ. 8 home runs. He's 2 away through 79 at bats from breaking a career high. I have to take a phone call. Hold on 1 second, please. All right. Appreciate the patience there. I was just on the phone with my mother. She had called me like that was her 3rd time calling me this morning, so had to take it. All right, and the Cubs are interested in giving us a trade, which is curious because we don't have anyone on the trade block. They want to give us Enrique Bradfield Jr., good defensive outfielder, 28, doesn't really hit the ball, for reliever Derek Trout, a young B potential reliever who is pitching really well, and Harper Ilowski. I mean, I have no need for Enrique, so I'm going to pass on this. And we finally get a series win again. Only our second of the month. It is a sweep versus Minnesota. So we sweep a division opponent, which is great. Back versus the Athletics. That's 5 in a row. What was this game? 14-10. As you saw while I was on the phone, I made a bunch of lineup changes. Had to move the hot guys up, move the cold guys down. Like Jazz is still hitting under 200. Ellie's barely above 200. But what a game. Home runs from Oliver Casas, Ellie, and Alec Thomas. Good pitching from Drew Thorpe. Hagen Smith sucks. That's something we just kind of glossed over. 21 innings, 7 ERA. He was really good last year. And just getting absolutely shelled. He's really young. We could send him down, and we might. We're going to give him... I don't know why they keep putting him in over Dustin May. Of course, Dustin May is pitching poorly, but only 4 1/3. Our bullpen is kind of ass right now, and that's probably a big reason why we're not playing well. But these are guys that we know can perform. They're just not. But it's also very, very early on. The rotation is solid. So the bullpen is just blowing it, apparently. We'll see if we need to make any moves after the first month. But, all right. So we scouted all the catchers that we wanted to. Are there any that we really want to hone in on? Broderick Ortega. Looks great. Albert Hayfie drops from 8 to 81. That's crazy. A lot of these guys stay where they were or fell. And I'm glad we found that out really early on. So we will scout this one catcher, the only one that really held where he is. Broderick Ortega. 18 years old, great contact skills, decent defense. Let's see where he lands. We discovered no other infielders, so we'll carry on there. And we have a moment here. They want us to play to have Oliver hit a 3 home run day. Nope. We lose anyway. So our winning streak comes to an end. But we won 6 in a row. We're only 1 game under 500. And so what's going on with the bullpen? I mean, 4 innings is really not enough to make a decision on. 21 might be. Gibbet might be losing it. Adrian Santo is pitching really well. We might have to bring up Xavier Curry. He's a proven veteran. All these guys are 30 plus years old. So we should know what to expect of them. Down the board, none of these guys are super impressive. Our AA guys are, but it's a tough jump to go from AA to to the majors. And I would be very skeptical of doing that. The only person I would probably consider is Adrian Santo, but again, that's double A to the major leagues. So maybe we send Hagen Smith down and bring up Jerpy or Mitre. I think that's a decent move. Hagen Smith has options. He still has one more option left. Jerpy has none. But he's 2 years older than Hagen Smith. He's another lefty. He's not performing particularly well, but I need to see something. Otherwise, we're going to have to make a move. So Jerpy will come up. Dustin May, I'm sure, can figure it out. And the rest of these guys, all proven veterans. And we'll see what happens. So kind of a short stream today. But again, my wife was out at having brunch with a friend, so I thought I'd hop on for a little bit and play. We got through the month of April. Had an absolutely crushing defeat versus Boston. Had some good simulation games. Had a really great day with Ellie with the 2 home run game. So I had a lot of fun. But that is where we'll call it today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you're new and enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.